Goodness gracious. Look at all these amazing brains. Chuck, thanks for having me here to be part of this party. Madam Chair, the board, thank you. Sponsors, it's a pleasure to be here. That was a pretty fancy introduction, wasn't it? All right, I'm going to spend a couple minutes talking about you now. In some quiet moments, in my office back home or in a hospital, or sometimes across a table, I have the misfortune and the great fortune of talking to people who have diseases of the brain, injury to the brain. After I'm 49, you're looking at a 49-year-old brain. I started when I was 20, working with people who have Alzheimer's disease. After 20 years of doing that, when you're sitting at a table and you look across the table and there maybe is grandma or grandpap or somebody that you love terrifically, and that person doesn't recognize the family member sitting next to me, you know, it's one of those moments, guys and gals, it sends a chill up your spine. And I decided about 10 to 15 years ago I was going to do something that I wasn't trained to do. You have to understand, in the United States of America anyway, doctors get trained to take care of disease. I got into the ballgame because I'm interested in health. So I had to pivot and pay close attention to what it means to be healthy. And so I do a really cool thing now, guys, for my job. Instead of talking to other PhDs and MDs, you know what I get to do? I get to talk to librarians and school teachers and big business people and small business people and the quiet moments in churches and mosques and synagogues, to the United Nations and the National Press Club. You know what I do for a living? I get out there and I talk to anybody that'll listen about the basics of the human brain. And I believe that this wonderful miracle that sits between your ears, and I'm looking at you little ones, because it's so important for you to hear this message, to live a proactive lifestyle, for you to be as healthy as you can be. This wonderful miracle that sits between your ears, ladies and gentlemen, is the greatest, most miraculous, complicated, integrated system ever designed in the history of this universe, or any, Dr. Johnson. We can go to Mars and we'll never find anything as complicated that you carry around with you. Does anybody want to have a serious conversation with me about portability? How about wireless? The human brain weighs 2 to 4 pounds. It's comprised of 60% fat. It's actually the fattest part of me and the fattest part of you. It's that fat that propels information rapidly, and we need to have it or else our brain will slow down. Every time your heart beats, 25% of the blood goes right to the brain. Listen closely when I tell you this, because you're not going to believe it. One day, the human brain will be able to fix the maladies of the body. I heard a what? One day, the human brain will be able to fix the maladies of the human body. Imagine a world where there's no radiation, no chemotherapy, no invasive surgery. One day in the near future, you will be able to communicate with those around you without opening your mouth. Can I see the number of hands in here? And I understand there's roughly 18,000 hands. Can I see the number of hands in here when you've had an experience in your lifetime, when you've thought of someone, and lo and behold, they call you or they walk in the room? How many of you had that experience? Raise your hand high. I'd suggest to you that's not random, friends. There's something going on there we don't understand. We talk about medicines. Let me suggest something to you. The following words: love, forgiveness, patience, compassion. These are medicines. Laughter. These are medicines I prescribe all the time to my patients. Now listen closely. In 1998, we learned that the human brain, your brain, my brain, can generate new brain cells. We didn't know that existed in 1997. We call that neurogenesis. We've discovered since that time that the brain has what's called plasticity. It can be shaped across the lifespan. Your brain does not care how old you are. For the parents in here who may think, geez, I didn't get the chance, you have a chance. It starts today. For those of you that may have a 90-year-old, a 100-year-old parent, a grandparent, it starts today. Your brain does not care how old you are. It wants to be stimulated, which is why I'm so fascinated and pleased that Chuck invited me here to your home that I'm learning about, because when I see you, what I see are brains that are being stimulated, that are being proactively being built to be healthy. What I have done is I put together a proactive brain health lifestyle. And I'm looking forward to having every one of you in here come up and say hello to me. If you're too shy, you can always get me online. You can call me and ask me a question. I offer that invitation to you. But there's 5 major things that are going to help your brain be as healthy as it can be, friends. One is being physically active. Study after study after study shows that kids that are active have higher scores in school and are more creative, which is a word I've been hearing a lot here at DI. You adults, the more physically active you are, the less chance it is you're going to get dementia. Physical activity is important to the brain. Why? Every time your heart beats, what percentage of the blood goes to the brain, friends? Doggone right, 25. Nutrition is important. Why? How much of your brain is comprised of fat? Smart group here. Best and the brightest, 60%. We got to not ever eat trans fats again. Eat fish, keep eating fish, and then eat more fish. That's very good for your brain. Engage in things that are novel and complex. What are you guys doing here these next several days? Things that are novel and complex. When you do things that are novel and complex, you grow new brain cells. If you grow new brain cells, you will be able to fight off disease. Socialize. Be with other humans. Hey, humans across the planet, all the countries in here, we get together, we can do great things. Anybody interested in world peace? Our brains have the ability to create world peace. We just got to love. That's a great medicine. And then finally, spirituality. For those of you who believe in a higher being, keep believing in a higher being. For those of you that get spirituality and are able to relax your brain with a walk in the woods, a walk on the beach, a quiet time, do it. Let me finish this way. When I talk to medical doctors and PhDs and people that go to school crazy amounts of time like I did, and some of you are going to do, I can talk to you about what Alzheimer's disease is, friends, but I would lose you, because then I wouldn't be talking to you like a normal person does. Let me finish this way with you. Alzheimer's disease is a brain that has lost access to its life story. 18,000 brains in here today. I'm looking at you. You have a life story. You have a bag sitting next to each and every one of you. Your parents may not have told you this, but it's there. I'll let you in on the secret. And into that invisible bag, you place life stories on a daily basis. You're doing it today. And you're building up your wonderful autobiography, friends. And if you go to your twilight, you little ones, listen closely. Because it might be today. And the sun is setting. And you're going on to a better place. There's going to be a little one that comes up to you and takes you by your hand and looks you square in the eye and says to you, "Share with me your life story. I want to know." And so what I encourage each and every one of you to do is to do what you've already been doing. Understand that your brain can be shaped for health. The younger you know this, the better off you're going to be. I'm 49, I'm trying to catch up. Do the things I suggested that you do so that you build as healthy a brain as you can, and education is so very important to that. Thank you very much. God bless you.